Larry, how would you describe Deutsche Post DHL's performance for the third quarter of 2014?
Well, we continue to be satisfied with our performance. It's a difficult economic environment. We have geopolitical turbulence and basically a slow growth environment continuing. And in that light, I think we're performing quite well. We had 4% sales increase in Q3 compared to last year, a 5% increase in operating income or EBIT. So in general, we're satisfied. We think the investments that we've made in the past are continuing to pay off. We're gaining market share in some important areas. One of our Strategy 2020 goals is to expand in the emerging markets, and we continue to do that. That's where we're seeing the highest growth still. So in general, we're satisfied with our performance in Q3.
So it sounds like you've had good top-line performance and also market share gain. Are you seeing that also turned over in the earnings?
Well, yeah, we continue to see our operating income growing faster than the top line. Again, 5% growth in EBIT and 4% growth in revenues. That's been a trend that we've established over many quarters and is a healthy trend that you want to see continuing. Basically, you want to benefit from your scale, from the network that we have in many of our businesses. And the more volume we can generate, the more sales increases, the more our customers are satisfied and delighted with the services that we're offering, the more volume and revenue growth we're going to be able to generate, and that should translate into higher earnings.
How would you say the transformation process is going at your forwarding business?
Well, the forwarding business is probably the business that we have that's most affected by the economic environment. And it's an intensive, competitive environment, which is leading to some revenue growth, but lower earnings overall. And the lower earnings are due to the very intensive competitive environment, but also the investments that we're making in the transformation program, which we call NFE, or New Forwarding Environment.
And what is the long-term goal of NFE?
Well, we want to service our customers better, and we want to become more efficient. We invest a lot with our very old systems at just keeping things going, and it's very paper-based, so not enough automated, not enough transparent, and we hope to significantly increase our efficiency by implementing this program.
You've also announced some additional investments in the supply chain business. What are your plans for the division?
Well, basically in supply chain, we want to speed up a process that is always ongoing. And you're always trying to enrich your contract mix, so the mix of contracts that you have with large customers to perform warehousing and distribution. And basically you want to always be adding more attractive new contracts and basically phasing out the older, less attractive contracts that you have. And that's a process that we want to speed up, and we'll invest in doing that. It's also considered restructuring expenses. We'll close down some unattractive sites, in particular in Central Europe, and speed up that process of being able to enrich the contract mix, the contracts that we have left and the new ones that we win, and thereby increase operating margins.
Let's jump over to Express. The restructuring is long past in that division. Is there still a growth story, though, going forward?
Absolutely. We continue to grow very strongly in Express, faster than the market. We think we've made continuous gains in market share in almost all regions of the world in the last years, and we continue to do that. In Q3, we had 7% growth. We estimate that market growth was in the 3 to 4% range. So we're continually gaining share, and it's due to our great customer service, but it's also due to our superior network. Our network is most in the leadership position in the areas that are growing most strongly. That is the emerging markets in Asia, in Middle East and Africa, and also in Latin America. So, all that is leading to market share gains, and that's very favorable for earnings in the Express business. We're confident we're going to be able to continue that trend, and there's a lot more potential for the Express business in the future.
How's the Post e-commerce parcel business doing?
Very well. The PEP division is one that has taken on a lot of new challenges and is so far doing very well in that regard. And the main challenge is to expand the e-commerce parcel world outside of Germany to Europe and to the rest of the world. That's going very well. We've transferred over some domestic parcel businesses from our other divisions, mainly Express. That integration has gone extremely well. Those companies are being reoriented toward e-commerce, toward B2C marketplace, and they're doing that very well. And we see a lot of additional opportunities to expand further outside of Germany. And of course, in Germany, we're growing very well in the parcel business, 8.5% growth in parcels in Q3 in the volume. So we continue to do well there. Overall, the division had a nice increase in operating income in Q3 and a slight increase also on the top line.
So what do you think the group's guidance is looking like for the year? You're halfway through the final quarter. You probably have a pretty good feel of how you or where you stand.
Yeah, and we continue to be very confident and confirm today the guidance that we have had out there for the year to reach between 2.9 and 3.1 billion euros of EBIT for the full year. It means that the fourth quarter, as usual, is going to need to be, and we expect it to be, a big quarter for us. It's seasonally usually our strongest quarter, and we expect that to be the case again in 2014.
Last but not least, can you tell us a bit about the company's midterm guidance?
Yeah, we think for 2015 that the earnings, the operating income, will be significantly higher than 2014. And for 2016, we've put out some specific guidance of 3.4 to 3.7 billion euros of EBIT or operating income. And it's in that year that we expect these major investments that we're making in transformation in the global forwarding business and restructuring in the supply chain business to be coming to an end and the first benefits to be seen. So we expect to see a very good earnings increase in 2016.